A representative of the Ukrainian military confirmed to CNN this morning that Routh was never a part of their Foreign Legion. Here's Routh speaking with AFP in Kyiv. This was back in April of 2022.
Putin is a terrorist, and he needs to be ended. So we need everybody from around the globe to stop what they're doing and come here now and support the Ukrainians to end this war.
This is my video update on this Monday midday, September the 16th. Let's talk about some news. And of course, we have to talk about the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump while he was playing golf or at a golf course. And this guy was hidden behind some shrubs, some bushes, with a rifle, and he tried to take out Trump. I don't think he fired any shots, but the Secret Service that was protecting Trump, I believe they fired some shots, and he ran away, left his rifle at the scene, and eventually they got him. From what I understand, the reports are saying that when they caught this guy, he was calm and cooperative, not really panicking. So, yeah, they caught him. They caught him trying to assassinate Trump, the second attempt on Trump's life. Now, the story about this guy is that he's an Elensky nut. He is a Slava Elensky, crazy, obsessed with Project Ukraine. And the reports are, I haven't been able to confirm this, but it does look like he actually was part of the Foreign Legion, the International Legion fighting in Ukraine, or he tried to become part of the Foreign Legion or International Legion, whatever it's called. And he's been in Kiev. He lobbied Congress. He's been in D.C. and he lobbied Congress for money and for weapons to support Project Ukraine, and he was in Kiev. There are photos of him at Maidan Square with a suit and tie, wearing a USA flag tie at the Maidan, supporting Project Ukraine. Get this dude was in a commercial, a promo video supporting the Azov NAZIs. He's been spotted, he's been identified in this video supporting Azov. A huge Project Ukraine nut, this guy. And he also talked about, in his social media posts, he talked about not only taking out Trump, but he talked about taking out Putin, taking out Lukashenko, launching, I believe he posted about attacking Russia or launching nukes, striking first against Russia and launching nukes against Russia, stuff like that. And his social media, at least his Facebook, according to various reports, Meta, Facebook, whatever it's called, they have already started scrubbing his account, his profile, trying to erase any trace of this guy's obsession with Project Ukraine. That's not suspicious, huh? That Facebook has started to scrub this guy's social media. But of course, it's the internet, and the moment this guy was identified, everyone jumped on his social media and they started to take screenshots of everything he's been posting on Facebook, on X. I believe his account has been suspended on Twitter X as well. But everyone started to take screenshots and whatever Facebook's trying to do by scrubbing any traces of this guy's connection to Project Ukraine, forget about it. Forget about it. The screenshots now are everywhere, man. They are all over Twitter, all over Telegram. Yeah, Facebook, you're not scrubbing anything. This guy's obsession with Elensky is well documented. Not only is it well documented on social media, check this out. This dude was interviewed by the New York Times by the Financial Times, by Newsweek. He was interviewed talking about his experience in Ukraine with the International Legion fighting against Russia. He even wrote a book. This guy even wrote a book about his experiences in Ukraine fighting with the Ukraine military. Max Blumenthal put out an ex-post with the book cover. It's something like 290 pages. This guy wrote a book, allegedly he wrote a book called The Unwinnable War. But he was interviewed by the Financial Times, by the New York Times, and by Newsweek, talking about Project Ukraine and defeating Russia. CNN, they say that he was connected to Ukraine. The title of their post is "Man Detained in Apparent Assassination Attempt Was Strong Supporter of Ukraine." Check out the dude's hair color. Dyed gold and blue, yellow and blue. This guy was a big time Elensky green t-shirt supporter. From Zero Hedge, from Carolina roofer to Ukraine activist, would-be Trump assassin Ryan Ruth gave many interviews with MSM. That's the dude's name, Ryan Ruth. That has been confirmed. And Ryan Wesley Ruth, because you always have to have three names. And yeah, he was a roofer from, I believe, North Carolina, I want to say. And he went from roofer to Project Ukraine lobbyist, making it all the way to Congress and making it all the way to Kiev, and fighting with the International Legion, fighting allegedly, because I haven't been able to 100% confirm it. Actually, the Ukraine military, they've already started damage control, and they are saying that this guy had nothing to do with Ukraine's military and nothing to do with the Foreign Legion. That's what Ukraine is putting out there on social media. So they're in damage control mode because it looks bad. One of our ex-International Legion fighters tried to assassinate the former president of the United States and the front runner for president of the United States in 2024, the Republican candidate for 2024. But this guy went from being a roofer to writing a book, a 291-page book about Ukraine, being interviewed by Newsweek, being interviewed by New York Times, being interviewed by Financial Times, going to Congress, going to the Maidan, lobbying in Ukraine, lobbying in the United States to support Project Ukraine. What the F? Something's very, very fishy here. Very fishy. But that's the title from Zero Hedge. Even the New York Times has had to come out and admit that, yeah, we interviewed this guy about Project Ukraine. Here's the title from the NYT. Suspected gunman said he was willing to fight and die in Ukraine. Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58, told the New York Times in 2023 that he had traveled to Ukraine and wanted to recruit Afghan soldiers to fight there. Another crazy part to the story is that this guy was trying to recruit Afghan soldiers to go to Ukraine and fight. He was trying to recruit Americans as well, from what I understand. But from his social media posts, that's the way it looks. He said everyone should go to Ukraine and fight. All Americans, all people should go to Ukraine and fight the Putin. But yeah, he was actively trying to recruit something like 3,000 Afghan soldiers. How does a roofer from North Carolina or South Carolina, wherever, but how does a roofer go from being a roofer to recruiting Afghan soldiers to fight in Ukraine? Come on, bro. What is going on here? What is going on? Check out the photo of him in, I think this is his LinkedIn profile, yeah. Photo of him in D.C., suited up, lobbying Congress, I guess. And the photo of him in Kiev at the Maidan, suited up with a USA flag tie. Unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable. I bet you the Collective West media, the script writers in DC and London and Hollywood, they're trying to figure out how do we spin this and blame it on the Putin. I'm waiting for the articles to drop where they say that this is some Putin ultra mega super duper judo chess move, where this guy was actually brainwashed, Manchurian candidated by Putin, and this is all a Putin setup to make it look like this guy supported Elensky. I imagine the script writers are trying to figure out how to spin this so that they can blame Russia, because you have to blame Russia, right? I'm waiting for that article to drop. But yeah, this is bad, man. This is really, really bad. There, I don't know, lone gunmen, people behind them, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we had one assassination attempt, the first assassination attempt, allegedly a young guy, no social media presence. Secret Service, it looked like the Secret Service had botched it up, allegedly. I'm not saying anything. I'm not going down any conspiracy theory rabbit holes. But yeah, the first attempt, and everyone forgot about that. No one even talks about it anymore. Even during the debate between Harris and Trump, ABC News didn't even bring up the assassination attempt. They memory hold that, and now you have a second attempt on Trump's life. This guy's not a young lone gunman. He's a 58-year-old roofer who's obsessed with Elensky. And we're seeing damage control in overdrive now, right? Facebook's in damage control mode. Ukraine is in damage control mode. What is going on here? I don't know. But this is just bad, man. It's really bad. You know, the more the U.S. is committed to Project Ukraine, the more they commit to Project Ukraine, the more Ukraine is being destroyed, but also the more the United States is being destroyed. I said this at the beginning of the special military operation. People that have been following my channel from the very beginning, and when I started to cover the SMO and Project Ukraine from the first days, I said that Ukraine is going to get dragged down, but they're also going to drag down the collective West, and they're also going to drag down the United States. That's what's happening here. That is what is happening. The U.S. has to get out of Project Ukraine, man. For the good of the United States, they have to detach from Project Ukraine, because this is just getting crazy. It's getting nuts. Anyway, that's the story there. Let's talk about Project Ukraine, and let's talk about the article that Bild put out. Julian Rupske, the #1 journalist, Bild Elensky supporter. He reports from Kiev. In fairness to Julian, he does criticize the Ukraine military, and he does criticize when Ukraine messes things up, like Kursk, the Kursk debacle. He's one of the journalists that's saying, "What are you guys doing in Kursk when Donbass is crumbling?" But anyway, Julian wrote an article in Bild, which is getting a lot of attention. The title of the article was something along the lines of Elensky's last chance, trying to pull out a victory in Ukraine. Translated from German, and he was just basically saying that Elensky's last chance, his final chance to try and pull the rabbit out of the hat and chalk up a victory in Ukraine consists of his victory plan, which according to Bild and Julian is Elensky getting permission to launch long-range missiles into pre-2014 Russia, and then once he gets the permission to launch long-range missiles, he holds on to Kursk, gets permission to launch long-range missiles into pre-2014 Russia, and then he agrees to a freeze in the conflict in certain areas. And then we get to the Elensky second peace summit. Podolyak, I do second peace summit. What do you think? And yeah, that's his victory plan, and that's what Bild reported the other day. And it looks like Ukraine is pushing back on Bild's reporting. That's how it looks. They are saying that the part about a freeze in certain areas, freezing the conflict, is something that Ukraine will not do. They are not freezing anything. That's the part that they took issue with. I imagine the Banderites in the west of Ukraine read the Bild article And they said, what are you talking about, a freeze in the conflict? And they called up Elensky and they said, don't you dare. The Banderites told Elensky, don't you dare freeze anything. We need to keep fighting. I imagine the neocons also called up Elensky and they said, don't you dare promise to freeze anything. You need to keep fighting. And so Elensky's spokesman, his spokes guy, he said, let me put this coffee down somewhere so I can read what this guy said. My God, a lot of bugs at this stadium. Man, so distracting. Anyway, this spokesman for Elensky, I'd never heard of this guy. This is a new guy. Maybe he's taken over for Podolyak. Podolyak, you need some rest, Podolyak. Anyway, this guy said, he denies the report that the victory plan includes a ceasefire along existing lines. That is what the Kiev Independent is reporting. And it's Elensky's advisor, Litvin. Litvin. Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? Podolyak. That sounds good. Litvin. Nah, bring back Podolyak. Anyway, speaking to Ukraine's Liga.net media outlet later that same day, Litvin insisted that Bild had spread a fake. Bild did not see the victory plan, and of the few people currently involved in the preparation of the victory plan, none of them spoke to Bild, Elensky's advisor added. The official emphasized that Ukraine is against any freezing of the hostilities with Russia, with authorities in Kiev not willing to sign up to a Minsk III, an apparent reference to the two agreements signed in 2014-15 by Ukraine and the breakaway Donbass and Lugansk People's Republics. They wish they could get to a Minsk III. Minsk I and Minsk II was an amazing deal. An amazing freaking deal. What an agreement Minsk I was, huh? Even Donetsk and Lugansk were part of Ukraine. They had some additional rights, like God forbid, one of their additional rights that Lugansk and Donetsk were afforded in Minsk I and Minsk II was that the Russian language was recognized and Russian culture was recognized, and the Russians would not be treated as second-class citizens. God forbid that, huh? But it was all Ukraine. All of it was Ukraine. Donetsk and Lugansk. Crimea was recognized as part of Russia, but that's just a reality. That's history. It's not only a reality, that's history. And that was the vote that the people in Crimea took to ascend into the Russian Federation. But man, they wish they could get something along the lines of Minsk III. But this guy says no. The Bild reporting was fake. There's going to be a freeze of nothing, which means a military solution. That's what it means, because effectively, what's Zelensky's victory plan now? You take out the whole freezing in certain areas. There's going to be no freeze in the hostilities. So basically, what's Zelensky's victory plan? His victory plan is, I'm going to continue the debacle in Kursk, right? And I'm going to get permission to get the UK and the US to start firing missiles into pre-2014 Russia so that I could start World War III or draw NATO into the conflict. That's his victory plan. His victory plan is to try and get NATO into the conflict, to try and cause chaos in Russia, to try and get a regime change, something like that. That's his victory plan. No freezing. There's no freezing of anything. This quote from Litvin, his advisor, actually hints at the fact that there really is no victory plan. Bild did not see the victory plan, and of the few people currently involved in the preparation of the victory plan, none of them spoke to Bild. This guy's saying that the victory plan is still being prepared. That's what he's saying. Anyway, that's the latest there. And we are getting news. Things are getting really bad for the Elensky regime. We are getting news from the U.S. that money to Project Ukraine is disappearing, or will disappear by 2025. There's going to be no more money, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican. It doesn't matter whether you're Lindsey Graham and you're absolutely committed to Project Ukraine and trying to get your hands on the 14 trillion in resources that Ukraine has. There is no money left to support Ukraine. That is the word that we are getting from, let's see, do I have an article bookmarked here which talks about this? I believe The Hill read an article talking about how the Biden White House is looking to extend 5.8 billion that they still have earmarked for Ukraine, but which expires on September 30th. So if that money isn't spent, isn't allocated to Ukraine, or isn't extended by Congress, then that money goes away. That's budgeted for Ukraine. So the Biden White House is looking to extend the 5 billion, which was allocated for Project Ukraine. I imagine he's going to get that extension. But the reporting is that after the 5.8 billion, there's just nothing left, man. And people in the United States, American citizens, are just sick of money going to Ukraine. And you know, this assassination attempt against Trump is going to really upset the America First MAGA American voter, because of this guy's affiliation to Ukraine, alleged affiliation. But let's just say his fanaticism. This can be confirmed. His fanaticism for Project Ukraine is going to really sour the America First voter towards Project Ukraine. So things are looking really bad for Elensky. And the Netherlands is actually the Netherlands, man. The Netherlands, my oh my, they are saying that there's going to be no patriots to Ukraine. Remember when the Netherlands was talking about how they're going to step up? Mark Rutte, he said like 6 months ago, when Ukraine started to face some air defense difficulties, some Patriot missile difficulties, Rutte said, we're going to step up as the Netherlands, as long as it takes, everybody. We're going to send patriots to Ukraine. We're going to put together his plan, Rutte's brilliant plan, because Rutte is an amazing military strategist. That's why he's going to be the next NATO Secretary General. But his plan was to get different components, different parts from different countries, and to put together a Patriot system, to put together some Patriot air defense systems. That was his plan. And it looks like some countries, Germany, but that's my guess. Some countries are saying we don't have the parts. So the Netherlands is now coming back to Elensky, and they're now saying, you know that plan about putting together a Patriot system by getting parts from different collective West countries? Well, it's not going to happen. And that's bad news, because they need Patriot systems really bad. Really, really bad. So the Netherlands is tapping out, man. The Netherlands is tapping out. So that's the news there. And let's see. Do I have anything else to talk about with Project Ukraine? Stammer. Yeah, we got Stammer, who is Stammer's going to lobby Italy, Germany, and France to go along with his World War III, let's send Storm Shadow missiles into Russia plan. Stammer's obsession with attacking Russia. So I said yesterday how the collective West is split with regards to escalating to a dangerous World War III level. And I said that the UK is for World War III, for attacking Russia. Canada's for attacking Russia. Finland is saying, yes, let's attack Russia. Sweden is saying, yeah, let's attack Russia. And the countries that are against lobbing long-range missiles into Russian territory and risking an all-out escalation with the #1 nuclear power in the world are France is saying, no, we don't want World War III. Germany is saying no tourist missiles to Ukraine. We don't want to escalate. And Italy is saying, nah, we don't want to blow up the planet. And now Stammer, he is going to convince Meloni, Macron, and Schultz. The most boring man in the world, the most boring man in politics, is going to convince Schultz, Meloni, and Macron that they should get on board with long-range missile strikes into Russia. Yeah, I think Stammer's Stahmer's the right guy to convince Germany, Italy, and France to give permission to the Elensky regime, give permission to the UK, to the Ukraine military to attack Russia with storm shadows. Stahmer's the guy. He's got the energy, he's got the excitement, the charisma to convince world leaders of just about anything, right? The most boring man in politics, Keir Starmer. He's going to put Macron and Maloney, Schultz to sleep. That's what he's going to do. Anyway, that's the update there, and let's do two more news topics. The debacle that is now becoming sanctioning RT, that is turning into a debacle. Blinken's idea to sanction the media, the United States of America, freedom of press, freedom of speech, the United States of America. They are now on a crusade, along with Canada and the UK, to silence media, to silence RT, because RT is Russian state propaganda outlet, and it is pushing out a narrative to the global South that Blinken does not like. So U.S., the home of free speech and freedom of press, is trying to shut down a media outlet because they're doing a better job than CNN and the New York Times in convincing the global South that Project Ukraine is a bust. It's not working out, Project Ukraine, and Blinken's plenty mad. So he's trying to convince countries to shut down RT, to sanction RT, to not do business with RT. And it's not working out well for Blinken. India has pretty much signaled that they're not going to go along with the sanctioning of RT. That is what media in India is reporting, though India has not come out with an official statement. They are reporting that they have contacted officials in the government in India, and the statements from India are that they're not going to sanction and block RT from broadcasting in their country. The matter does not pertain to India altogether, an unnamed Indian diplomat said. Yeah, India is standing up for freedom of speech, freedom of press. India is standing up for freedom of press. America, with Blinken's idea, is embarrassing. He's embarrassing, man. America, man. Blinken, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing going around the world trying to shut down media? It's just embarrassing, man. Someone needs to tell Blinken to stop. Someone needs to pull him aside and say, Blinken, stop. This does not look good for us as the United States of America, and it's just going to piss off 80% of the world. The collective West will go along with it because the collective West will do whatever Blinken and the neocons tell them to do. But the rest of the world, the global South, they're just going to get more pissed off at Blinken, man. Who are you to tell us what news outlets we can allow to broadcast in our country? Anyway, that's the update there. And we have an important update in Georgia. In Georgia, the country from Tbilisi, Georgia Dream, they are signaling that they would like rapprochement with Ossetia. This is the news that we are getting. This is a Twitter X post from Lord Bibo. Nuremberg trials for NATO proxy. A huge geopolitical event is currently happening. Georgia wants to reunite with Ossetia, which Russia protects, and the current Georgian government decided correctly to not go down the path of confrontation, but diplomacy and friendship. They also are cleaning out U.S. proxy henchmen that threw Georgia into war. The Georgian government announced Nuremberg trials for the politicians who started the war against Ossetia in 2008. And Georgia did start the war against Ossetia in 2008. This is confirmed. This is confirmed by the European Union. This is fact. The narrative that Russia started the war in Georgia is fake news. This is confirmed fact by the European Union as well. They did their own study on what happened in Georgia, and it was Saakashvili, Michal Saakashvili, John McCain's protege, who got the orders to start a conflict in 2008. And Medvedev, who was president at the time, Putin was prime minister. Medvedev, he squashed that very quickly. Within like 4 or 5 days, he squashed the whole conflict, attacking Russian peacekeepers in the area, internationally recognized peacekeepers. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the history of it, but it looks like Georgia Dream is saying, you know what? We need to use diplomacy. How about that strategy? We need to use diplomacy and try to fix things with Ossetia, and that's what they're looking to do. Huge news, man. Huge news. This is going to piss off the neocons in a big way. It's going to piss off the EU. It's going to piss off the collective West. I believe in October, you have elections in Georgia, parliament elections, and they're going to try really hard to get a regime change. That's what I fear. Anyway, that's the news out of Georgia. I think I can wrap up this video. Ike Arena. This is the stadium for the football club in Larnaca. Yeah, let's do a clown world and wrap this video up. How about the Visa trademark? This is a joke. It's a joke meme graphic that's on Twitter. I talked about Visa wanting to re-enter the Russian market, the payment processor, credit card, debit card, Visa. They registered for new trademarks in banking and cryptocurrency in Russia. So it looks like they're pulling out of the sanctions and they're looking to re-enter the Russian market. And you have this graphic of what the trademark of Visa might look like in Russia. Of course, you have the giant Z there, Visa. Anyway, that's funny. The clown world has to deal with Kolomoisky, the man who gave birth to the myth of Elensky. Kolomoisky, the one-time Ukraine oligarch, who was I guess you could say he was the leader of the leader of Dnipropetrovsk. I think that's where he was running his organization from, but he wanted to be president in 2014. 2015, he was passed over by the United States. And so he had the media channel. I forgot the name of his TV channel, which had Elensky as one of his stars of TV shows, Servant for the People. And so he got the idea, why not take this TV show, Servant for the People or Servant of the People, whatever it's called, and let's turn it into a political party. I will get Elensky to, this barbed wire. Why do you have barbed wire here? I will get Elensky to be my guy, to be president and beat Porky Poroshenko, competing oligarch, the chocolate king. The oligarchs always competing in Ukraine. So that's what Kolomoisky did, and it worked. And Elensky became president, and Kolomoisky was the guy behind the curtain, right? He was running the show, and Elensky was his front. And then the United States, they said, this is interesting. We're going to take Elensky. He's going to be our guy. And they demolished Kolomoisky. They demolished him. He's under multiple investigations. He's been arrested from what I remember. And I don't know, he's in hiding somewhere, or he's back in Ukraine under arrest, and he went to Switzerland. His Privat Bank was shut down. We used to have a Privat Bank here in Cyprus, and that was shut down as well. Anyway, what's the story? The guy that built up the myth, the legend of Elensky, and was later pushed aside by the United States. So this guy, this mafia oligarch, he met his match in a different type of mafia that told him, get lost, Elensky's ours now. And he has 3 passports. He has a Ukraine passport, an Israeli passport, and a Cyprus passport. As I said, he used to have his Privet Bank, used to be a bank here in Cyprus, but it's been shut down from what I understand. And Cyprus has now taken this guy's citizenship. Cyprus revokes citizenship of Ukrainian oligarch Kolomoisky, according to the Kiev Independent. And the reason is that Kolomoisky did not cooperate with authorities for an investigation that he's under, and he wasn't cooperating or something like that. And so the Cypriot government, they got the order to revoke his citizenship. So now he's down to 2 passports. Anyway, I don't even know if that's a clown world, but it's interesting, man. The whole Kolomoisky Elensky thing is very interesting. You know the interesting part about Kolomoisky, when Elensky was his puppet, he had Elensky suit up. He was wearing suits. He was dressing up, clean shaven. Elensky, that was how Kolomoisky presented President Elensky. Then when the U.S. got a hold of Elensky, it was green t-shirt time. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch like the awesome limited edition t-shirt that I am wearing today in this video. The link is in the description box down below. Take care.